If I think of this as a C, then I could put this here on an F. That would be my 11. And here I've also got a G. Maybe move that to the 7. I'm going to try that. Okay. And then these aren't actually going to hold across the way that I'm showing them, because what I think I want to do here is kind of build us in. Oops, not like that. Let's back up here. I want these to be 8th notes. Yeah. Like that. And then I think I am going to change this next bit. We've got this B note here. And again, if I were to use this as a secondary dominant, and we would use the B, D sharp, F sharp, A for the secondary dominant, which is, it's basically leading us back to an E note, or an E chord, or an E minor chord in this case, technically. So I could leave that on the F sharp. This is a D. I could take this, could repeat this across and take it to the D sharp, because that's going to make it a major chord. And let's see, we've got a C here. Move this down. Let me move it correctly. Move this down to our B. We've got our B, our D sharp, our F sharp, and bring this up to an A for the 7. Except I think what I want to do, in fact, is turn these into 16th notes. And actually making these be 8th notes and just making them staccato. No, slow down, back up. Don't do that, little Randy. Oh, is this going to shut down on me? No, okay, there, we're getting it back. I think, no. Oh, that's not good. So this is freaking Sibelius, man. This should not have happened. And there are certain times when it completely erases its own undo history. The only viable option now is to shut this program down, restart it, and see how much data I lost. I'm not sure when I last saved. Shouldn't be too bad. But I almost certainly lost something else in there. And yeah, when Sibelius just clears out its own undo history, it's like, where did you guys come up with this idea? Because it's not a good one. Okay, so I lost a bit here. I usually save more often than that, but this is a pretty easy one to recreate. So we end up coming over here, we bring this down to, and I fear that my stream may be coming in and out right now, and I apologize if that's the case. I don't know how many people are actually watching, but I feel like this may have shut off a couple times. That's probably just because of my internet connection. I just want to see. Yeah, okay, so at least once it has restarted. No, twice now it has restarted. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. So apologies if anyone is out there watching right now and getting stuck like that. Okay, so we've got this, and we want this to be an E minor chord. And so let's see, we want, that one's good, that holds across. And we're gonna take that to an E, and we've got an E, and we'll take that to the octave. And then we're gonna bring this out for 4 measures, tie these, and put in our reverse hairpin. Okay, now we'll come back over here. Unfortunately, I will have to redo this. And now, you know what? I started with this one, and that led me in a better direction. And this happened many times. This is probably about as much loss as I ever actually see. Just this fairly small amount. I took that to the B, and then I made this a half, and I end up doing this ends up being a B7 chord. So I took this, I left that on the F sharp. I took these will go to a D, and that's a D sharp. And D, B. Okay, so that chord is good. Yeah, it's unfortunate when my internet kind of acts up like that. Okay, so let's reorchestrate this. This one I kept there. And so I've got a 5, a 3. I'll leave those on the root. So that is a 3, leaving that where it is. Okay, so, and we took this down to the F for a 7, for an 11, C, and I ended up with a B note somewhere in here, I thought. So maybe I didn't. So we've got basically a C chord. Let me refocus this. I'll leave that organ in place. Oh no, we don't need the organ. We won't even see that here. So that should be what we need there. Oh, I left the drums out again. No, drums are there. Guitar tab, bass, drums, strings. We are golden. All right. So we're good there. Okay, so we got this. So this is a D. Take that up. No, do we leave that on the D? Okay, that's right, because I got my F sharp there. That works. Okay, so that's a D. We left that there. This one, let's take that to an A. And then the D note will double there. So this ended up a little different than I had it before, but that's fine. And I think I want, something feels wrong on this. No? Okay, so this chord I still need to work out. And this was a little wonky last time. So we've got a G note, we've got a G note here, we've got an F sharp here. So I think of this as a G. Oh, that's part of the problem. I don't want to go to a unison here. So let's bring that to the 6. Look at the 7 there, G. And it's kind of, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because, well, the guitar is going to act as a 4th. I think that's going to be all right. G. Do I want to do anything else? Let's see how that chord fits. I think that'll work out all right. So now, turn these all into eighth notes, 16th, eighth notes. We'll do it as eighth notes, and then we'll make them staccato. And so highlight those. And there. And that. And that. And we'll make these all staccato. And then we will fade in. And the fade in will actually work on this because these are first party sounds. But I will need to put in my expression marks. Oh, why is it freezing up on me? There we go. Save that again. Because I'm doing 4 albums in one file, sometimes the save function takes a little longer than normal. It was just kind of a fun thing to do, to just write a whole bunch of music in one sequence. And so let's see then here, let's put in an E minor. Let's pull the staccato mark off of that. We'll just turn this into a whole note for now. And go to the G there, E there, put this on an E, and leave that on the B. And then these will also need their expression mark. Save that again, in case we have another funky thing happen. I'd much rather rebuild a few minutes of work than to take a chance on what else I may have lost. Because it turned a whole bunch of stuff into rests here. And yeah, I do have other string work up on this Walk Down the Path. So I haven't done a whole bunch of work on my strings, but still, it's better than losing it. So now, this is the big thing, is do we like the way this actually works in let's hear it on its own. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I think that does work. I may end up extending this out an additional measure. In fact, let's do this. We've got a D sharp here. Okay. And we've got an F, so we've got a D sharp and an F sharp. D sharp, F sharp, so we got a D sharp minor chord. All right, let's just build this around here. So we got D sharp and D sharp, F sharp, A would give us the diminished chord, A sharp, let's try the A sharp in here. Where do we go? We're going to E here. Why do we got? Oh, that's because I want to put our F sharp there. Got a D sharp here. Put our A sharp here. And repeat our D sharp here. Now I'll have to pull all of these out. That's fine. And I can just copy paste these over. Let's listen to that without the fade in. I'm gonna make those a little bit louder just as a test. That might work. So now let's put those back in. Let's put our reverse hairpins. Oh, no. Hairpin, not reverse hairpin. Reverse hairpin was for the fade out of the organ. Or technically our crescendo marks. Hairpins, easier to say. Gives a little more context here. Yeah. Not sure what I'm going to want to do with those strings. It's possible I'll pull some of this back out, depending on where I end up going. But that's a potential start here. It feels all right. I'm not sure quite what... I think what's throwing me off right now, this riff... How does that work on guitar? That feels a little bit like the band Ghost, which hopefully I'm not giving myself too big of a head here. I really like the guitar riffs that Ghost comes up with. They do some really, really cool stuff. And so I get, because of the kind of Ghost feel that this has, the strings aren't hitting me quite right, but I think the strings are more appropriate for what I'm going for. So I think they'll work, but my head's not wrapping around them quite right just at the moment. How does this riff? And then it repeats. So yeah, I really like the riffage on this. And then it kind of picks up here a bit. Oh, I like the chords there. That's going to take a bit of practice. Oh, okay, I see what the rhythm's doing there. I really dig the riffs in this. Yeah, I think the strings will end up fitting in there. I'm going to have to kind of wrap my head around where I want to go with those strings. Because right now, you know, I've just got this E minor chord. Basically, it's just a placeholder. And so it's kind of a pad. And the strings often act as a pad, but I feel like on this one, I may end up doing something more like what I did on I Thought I Was Someone Else from my last album, where the strings aren't acting as much of a pad. They're kind of accenting the rhythms, so get some busier stuff going in the strings. and have some more kind of punctuated areas where they're coming in and out is what I think the strings are going to need to do on this. So I'm going to need to kind of work with, like this kind of thing here and figure out how I want to. So, probably, let's see what happens if I was just to go to this. And I think in this case, the guitar is moving down, but I think I want to move up on this. So maybe take a jump here to the D sharp. And even though I've got the D sharp there, this is still very much in the E minor tonality. And so maybe go to the G note there, leave this on a B note, and this on an E note. And now we got this. So what we got here is basically an E minor major 7 chord. And that's I think of the minor major 7 is kind of like, a lot of people describe it as a James Bond chord, which is a really good descriptor. I also think of this as like in that old show, The Twilight Zone, which is one of my all-time favorites. Like right at the end of a scene, you hear a chord like that, this minor major 7. It's like, okay, something's coming up, but we don't know what as the scene fades out. So it's a great chord, and we'll just get it very briefly here. And like just that, like just letting it hang on there, and then maybe hitting something on the half note here with this. Yeah, I think this. So we're going to get kind of a, we got a C going in this. So we would have a C major chord here, C, E, and G. And put the C note down here and E note here, which E, something like that. And here, maybe do this kind of a thing. And what could we do to just make this slightly, here might be a place where we do kind of the, even though it's not going to match with the C chord, to punctuate this. Yeah, something like that. And so here we're on, what do we got now? We got B, F sharp, C. Did I screw something up here? What is this chord? Oh, I went to a D note there. That should have been a C, G, E. Cool. So now we've got our B, F sharp, and D, and another D note here. So that's a little bit of, yeah, that works though. I almost wonder if this might work. This wouldn't work better if I went up. And this one, I don't think I can go. No, we're out of range there. So we might just have to leave it like that. So the only problem with this is that it will definitely give me a parallel fifth. And this is a fairly transient thing, so it's not going to be a huge deal, but it's still worth. So here, the thing is, if you take two chords right next to each other, and you just move them like I did, so everything moves up one position, you definitely have, everything is parallel, which means you have a parallel fifth in there. And yeah, not really what I'm looking for in this case. So, well, what if I took, let's see. How can we revoice this? Because I kind of like this going up a little bit better. So what do we got there? We've got a C, we've got a G, we've got a E. Wait, what is wrong with my brain today? This is a C chord. C, G, E, and C. That's fine. So one thing I could do is repeat the 3. No, because then they're all just moving down. Let's try this again. Something's still hitting me wrong here. We've got a B, an F sharp. Oh, because I'm looking at the wrong. I'm on a C clef. This happens all the time. So this is a C clef. You can see the weird little fancy C clef over here. My brain was interpreting this as a C note because I was thinking of a treble clef. One of these. So this sudden, okay. That's where my brain totally got thrown off. Okay. And I was just watching a video by Glenn Fricker earlier about how we listen with our eyes. And this is so totally true. We all do it. We're all guilty. In that particular case, he was talking about when we listen for, like, if we know it's a certain type of amplifier that we don't like, we will hear it as being bad. And so in this particular case, he was comparing a solid state amplifier to tube amplifiers. And guitar purists, particularly amplifier purists, will swear up one side and down the other that tube amplifiers sound better, solid state amplifiers can never sound as good, and the new digital amplifiers will never sound as good. And so he took one solid state amplifier and 3 tube amplifiers. He just played this song. He recorded a song with whoever his fellow musicians, and then just swapped them out. He recorded a direct input signal and then reamped to all of these different amps. You couldn't tell. And it's like, that's kind of the way it works. And so what's happening here is the same thing. I was seeing this a certain way, and so I was hearing it a different way. And now that I see it this way, I hear it differently. And we would like to think, that our brains are on our side. But so often our brains are not on our side. They don't really help us that much. Yeah, I'm liking this much better because I'm seeing it correctly. I will say this, at least I'm willing to admit, as some people don't like to admit that they don't see things perfectly, I'm willing to admit that my visual reference absolutely impacts what I am hearing. It just does. And that's just kind of the truth here. So this is where I'll have to work a bit more because I've got... So do I consider this a C sharp minor chord? Or do I consider it as part of the E minor chord? So I can think of this as a C sharp minor or as an E major or as an E minor, as an E major 6. E minor add 6. The 6 defaults to being major. So it's an E minor add 6 chord, or I can do a C sharp minor and then go to my E minor. So when I'm doing my orchestration, I can think of it either way. Now I do hold the E over here, which kind of lends credence to the E minor add 6. I think I'm going to start this as an E minor add 6. Because I think the guitar playing this as a chord is going to make it stand out very nicely. That's really all it takes. So now what I'm thinking of now is, what do I want the rhythm of the strings to do? I think in this case, I'm going to want to go with an E minor. So I'm just going to bring these notes in, leave that on G, put this on E, and pop this up to an E. And I'm going to want to, actually, yeah, you know what I should put? I kind of want this to be a complete chord on the bottom. So I'll put this on a B. And then I want a little melody up here on the upper voice, the soprano voice, violin 1. That's close. Okay, so here though, okay, so I've got an A sharp and a D sharp. So let's make this an A sharp. And I don't think the B is going to be the right thing here. So let's actually go to the C sharp there. No, don't like the C sharp. Maybe just take it to an E. I don't like going up quite that high. Let's take that to a C, this to an A. That works a little better. Yeah, that's. I was about to sign off a little while ago, and then I started getting my ideas for this here, and I'm kind of liking where this looks like it could be going. It's got some possibilities here. I'm not entirely. I think this is the right feel. I'm not convinced that the second measure is. I think it's got a bit of a Mad Poet feel. I don't know if it's the right feel for this song. What if I made those staccato? You know, one thing I've also found in Sibelius is sound-wise, the staccatos don't always work very well. I think if I made all of these not staccato and made them into 16th notes, we would probably hear them better. You can see it's much messier looking. No, I don't like that. Visually, I definitely want to take these back to where they were. This may require a bit of contemplation on the part of the Mad Poet. A little Mad Poet contemplation time. Contemplate with me, if you will. What am I going to do with this? something's not hitting me right here. You know, and here, you know, it might just be, I think a lot of this might just be the rhythmic aspect. We're taking something like this, same exact chord, but just changing the way it feels. That's better already. And I almost get a sense that if I move these by an eighth, this is a rhythm that I just totally dig. And then I'll need to put in something here. Let's just repeat this over there for now. See if that works. Yes. Yes, better for sure. So let's see, we built this, we've got the A sharp, let's, put that on a B, F sharp, D sharp, and actually, no, I should probably just leave those as is and just put this on A. Well, it was on the A sharp, D sharp. Put this on a D sharp. Let me put this on the F sharp instead. Oop, it was on that. There we go. There we are. Yeah, that's better. And then here, let's see. I'm kind of thinking, put this on some sort of a D related thing. Take that to the F sharp. This to a D note. And this is not uncommon. We're more likely to jump around in the bass. Like, you know, here we've got a jump of a sixth. We're less likely, and particularly if we don't have a rest in between, this is the most likely place you're going to jump around a lot. Of course, it comes down to your own stylistic preferences. So that's always part of it. Let's actually take this up now to the 5, leave that on the 3, and put that on the 1, put this on the 1, and then here, instead of doing that same pattern, let's put this on the half, and that's going to be matching up with where the chords are emphasized. Except that I think that this should probably, I feel like this one should move down again. So if I move that to there, put this on an E, and I've got a C, put this on a C. I feel like that moves down too far. What if I leave this, let's see, put this on a 6 instead of a 5. Leave this on the 5. So we have a little lesser movement here. And let's see, we got a C note here, so let's put this on the 3. I like that better. Let's get one more measure in here, because I feel like this punctuated aspect should probably continue through this area. And I feel like what we might want to do here is simply bring in and just go straight across with eighth notes on each quarter. And in this case, I kind of want to accentuate in this line the fact that we've got this 9 chord. We've got what would be a sus9 chord in this case. So I've aided with that in the bass already there. So we've got the 1, we've got the 9, we've got the 5, and we put a 7 in on that. That's cool. Okay, so what if we went 1, 2, which is the same as a 9, 3, 5. I think I can work with that. And then we can take this and copy it over. Well, I think the computer was still. I'm going to save this since the computer's been thinking about stuff. And I should be able to just copy this over because that is the same chord. Because ultimately this is all, I mean, we got, our D chord, our C chord, we've got our C chord here, our C sharp here. But these are all kind of really just centering around this E minor all through these 4 measures. Except that is slightly off from what we actually need because that was the other rhythm, so we can fix that easily. So let's put that back in place. Yeah, I think I'm digging that. Cool. All right, so what other kind of craziness do we got going on here? Oh my God, I'm totally back on. I am such a dork. No wonder nobody watches my streams. All right. So here now, if anyone's watching, you can see what I did. Put it into ensemble. Yeah. And now here I think I may go to some held notes, particularly down here on the low end. I think I'm going to want a 1 and a 3. Here. And then up on top, we'll punctuate this with a 3 and a 5. Like that. And particularly when there's a rest there, I really like hearing the low strings kind of poke through like that. It's kind of take up a little bit of space. And I feel like maybe I should put a hit here on the half note where the guitar hits, but I think the guitar might take care of enough of that. No, actually that's pretty good. I want to do something maybe a little different. So I put the 6 in there, we got a 3, I'm gonna put a 9 in there. A 9 in 11? Yes. And now let's see about voicing these a little different. So let's actually go to the 3 here. And the 1 there. Just to revoice it a touch. I need to revoice it better than that. Well, and here, this is going to go to a D chord over here, so I need to untie this. All right. Let's put this on the 7. We'll put this on the 5. We'll let the guitar carry the root there. Yeah, okay. And so then here we're going to have a D chord. And I will put something in about this. C. Oh, that's not the 5 of a. Oh, there would be the 5 of the D chord there. So we'll put the 5 like that, and then that'll be the 3 of the C there. So that'll be 3 and a 5. D, and we'll put this on the F to be the 3 of the D. Get some reasonable oblique and contrary motion going there. Nice little line down on that one. And I'll put these back in over here. And let's see, D, we'll do an F, and a D, and turn these into quarter notes. And let's put something here for the C, and we've already got a C and an E going in there. Oh, that should be a D note there on that. There's the F sharp, and sort of G and a C. And just getting a rhythm feel on this. Then I might, well, I'm just gonna, this is an experiment. Oops. Except no, I want that to be 1/8 note over. That's where I intended to put it. Let me hear that in context. Let me pull this out to a quarter note here. I think I can work with that. And now I can do an almost copy paste thing here, because this is the same up to the very last chord where everything is a half step higher. So let's just see if it works just bumping that up a half step. It does not. I think I should just do something completely different here, because we're we're using this kind of as a leading tone type of a chord. Back up to our, basically we have a D sharp power chord leading up to an E minor. So we've got that half step movement there. And yeah. So what are we going to do with this? Let's pull these in. So what do we got? We got a D sharp and an A sharp. Move that to a D sharp. Bring that up here. And put it on A sharp. So we could probably do with some F sharp action here. And I think I'm just going to hit these on the half notes. Oh, that's already an F sharp. I don't need to modify that. Oh, come on. Getting something thrown off here. And then D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. So that's just a D sharp minor chord. Let me just try that. A sharp there and see if that works. Except I think I'm actually going to move these over to here on beat 3. I think that'll be a little better. I do think I want to bring this, I think if I hit the D sharp here again, just revoicing it, actually maybe bring this down to an F sharp, bring that back up to the A sharp there. Yep. That's what I'm going to do right there. Cool. And now I can, so that is my B section. And then this song is kind of interesting. The first section letter that I have is B, because I realized after I wrote the whole thing that I wanted to start with this guitar riff rather than this guitar riff. So I just took one of my A sections out. And so the B section is kind of the first one that we get introduced to. It's kind of more primary. And so now I can just copy pasta this. And speaking of pasta, I might have to have some shrimp fettuccine Alfredo tonight. That may just have to happen. Oh, and this only happens in, looks like two other places. Okay. So I can just copy pasta there. And I want to make sure that so sometimes I will change like the last, bit of a chord. So I kind of like to, I'll make minor changes to a section in different places. So it's good for me to make sure that this does in fact fit. And it looks like it did in the first one. Looks like it does in this one. So yeah, so that's kind of a fun little, there's some pretty cool parts in this Pharaoh's Judgment, or The Pharaoh's Judgment is the name of the song. So I'll need to work up some lyrics for the Pharaoh's Judgment. I think I've started some lyrics for it somewhere. I don't know if I know quite where those are at. I'm pretty sure that I've made at least a few lyrics for this. I'll have to throw this into my nightly singing practice. Get some lyrics together, throw it into my nightly singing practice, and see if I do in fact want to make this a lyric piece, I think it would be pretty awesome. Even if I were to have, if I don't like my vocals on it, Sarah might be able to pull this one off. She's not a metal gal. Sarah doesn't listen to a lot of my music. She certainly appreciates what I do musically, but she is more of a 40s and 50s jazz gal. And I like that stuff a lot. So we're always upstairs with our record player. We've got this nice little stack of 40s and 50s jazz records. Louis Armstrong and Miles Davis, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Harry James. We got this one record, Jerry Fielding, that she just kind of randomly bought off of eBay. And it is the biggest mismatch between an album and its cover that you can imagine. If you look at its cover, it looks like it should be like a Carly Simon or a Carole King album, which, I mean, I'm a big fan of both Carly and Carole. They're awesome. But I mean, it doesn't look at all like what the music sounds like. It's more of these kind of like 40s and 50s jazzy show tunes things. It's great. It's a great album. But I was looking for it the other day. I had put all the records back in their sleeves, and I'm looking for the Jerry Fielding one. And I would look at the picture. Again, you know, your brain is not your best friend like we like to think it is. So I'd look at the picture and I wouldn't read that it said Jerry Fielding on top because the picture was just, it can't be that one. And so it took me a while to find it and put that one back on. I think that's the record we've got on the player right now. But so she's not a metal gal, but if I don't like what I do, she might be able to pull this one off. So we'll see what happens with that. I feel like I want to go male vocal on this one. There are some of my pieces that I'm definitely like, I should try to find a female vocalist for this. And yeah, but I'm glad I popped in and worked on this a bit today. I've been streaming for a little over 2 hours. I'm getting kind of hungry, and I mentioned pasta, so I think I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna cut out and go make some shrimp fettuccine alfredo because that just sounds freaking awesome. So yes, tomorrow very possibly I will be back to doing a concert style stream. I'm gonna have to do a couple recordings tonight, video recordings, and make sure everything is actually working and matching up correctly. Not positive. I may be composing again tomorrow, or who knows, maybe everything will fall back apart and I'll be able to do nothing more than read another little bit of Sherlock Holmes or some other public domain piece of work. It has been a crazy little endeavor getting this all back together. So I'm going to go see what's going on with that. I'm going to go eat. You guys have a great night. Until the next time, I will see you